Hello, neighbor. Doing something a little different. Gonna be answering some questions. And I thought, let's just do a simple meet and greet. No, not meet and greet. We already met. I don't know how to do this video. Said the man who's doing everything by himself. But we don't always have to. And that's why we're gonna talk today about Riverside. We got a sponsorship, guys. That's crazy. Riverside's really great when you're doing video podcasts, doing webinars, and even if you want to edit your own talking heads. Really cool thing about Riverside is not only are you able to record high quality video from both your end and also who you're recording and talking to's end, but you're also able to edit within the same software, making it easy for everyone. Very beginner friendly. And the great part about recording from each end is that you never have to worry about video calls getting potato quality or losing connection mid-call. Both sides will be recorded and you'll be able to have the highest quality of each end of the call. There's a lot of awesome features with Riverside, and if you want to check it out and try a free trial, there's a link down in the description below. And if you really like it and want to add it to the toolbox as a creator, there's a 15% off discount code, Shua Films.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
All right, first question. JD Nasty, how did you first get into creating videos? It actually started when I was like very, very young, maybe like 5 years old. Whenever Jurassic Park came out, I used to like take my toys and I would recreate the T-Rex breaking out of the cage. Moving a little bit forward, I started doing like gaming videos like Markiplier, PewDiePie, and then Casey Neistat, I found him. And then I was like, oh, all the like movies and stuff that I think about in my head all the time, I can make one. And so I did. And then COVID hit. Didn't let that sway me. And 4 years later, I had 15,000 subscribers. So thank you for that. That's how I got into doing YouTube. Hannah from Atlanta, how do you face the fear of being seen? I don't really know if I have a fear of being seen. I am an introvert for sure. Like I want to be home. Like I don't want to go out to large crowds all the time. I feel like I have a little bit of the opposite. I feel like I have a fear of not being seen. And this is coming up right after having a therapy session. So I feel like I'm always misunderstood and I don't know how to really express myself. So videos really help me express in a way where I feel comfortable being seen. And that kind of like therapeutically helps me through that. I have the opposite end of that. Shiny visuals. What about Chicago inspires you? In the last year, I've really fallen in love with who I've gotten to meet in Chicago. I would say right now in Chicago, there is a like newer wave of creators and they're kind of like really super collaborative and they want a place, a foundation needs to be built for like coming together and being able to just work with each other. And Aubrey Visuals, how do you manage your work-life balance as a content creator and avoid burnout? This is like the question of the era. I feel like we've all experienced burnout at least once. Things that I'm trying right now to avoid burnout, I would say is taking time to just do something for myself. One, taking breaks off of Instagram. Scrolling is like the worst thing for me personally. I picked up a couple books that really help with like my brain, like emotional side of things. 2 books I've been reading, I forget, it's called, this is one of the books I've been reading. The Surprising Solution to Overthinking. Soundtracks by John Acuff. I really like this book. Not to spoil it, or I don't know if you really spoil it, it's not really a story, but it's like going through how like we all have different soundtracks going through our head, whether it's like self-doubt, things we're trying to prove, things we don't like about what we're working on or ourselves, and like how can we replace that with like positive things and like be more balanced with our thoughts and more productive with our thoughts. I really like this book. The other book I've been reading is I Want to Die, but I Want to Eat Tteokbokki. I really like that book because it's this girl talking to her therapist. She's just very honest and open about each session that she has. She says something, her therapist, it's like the whole conversation. It's really nice because even though she's going through different things specifically, the root emotions of it is very similar to what I'm going through. So it's just nice to have like an emotional connection of similarity. Running with AJ, how do you choose your music? Did the courses help you become a better filmmaker now that you're a few years on? As far as music, I've used a different bunch of sources. When I first started, since I wasn't monetized, I just like screen recorded Spotify music that I really like. Currently, I've been using Epidemic Sound. I like using Epidemic Sound because there's like sound effects in there too. It's like one I just keep going back to out of all of like the platforms of music licensing. It's just one of my favorites.
Okay, I went way too long in trying to explain how the courses really affected me as a filmmaker years later. So I'm just gonna like put this in now. The miracles of editing. I took Casey Neistat's class, Dan Mace's commercial, like learning how to film and edit that way, kind of like full package kind of course. I took Hayden Hiller Smith's editing course. One of my recent videos, The Art of Slow Living, that one was mostly scripted. Being able to go out and shoot certain scenes, it made editing a lot easier. I could just plug and play. Like I said, these things, this goes here. It's like more like a puzzle piece at that point. Editing vlogs like the Casey Neistat stuff, I still have a tough go at it sometimes. As I'm coming into a rhythm this year, I'm kind of figuring out what works for me. Vlogging, I still do kind of script. I just feel like I'm able to get my ideas more clearly and more like structured. It helps me when it comes to like talking, because trying to do a vlog just off the cuff, even if I have an event happening that's really interesting, I don't know like with myself what to say and what to do in front of the camera. I don't know how I made vlogs back in the day. Long story long, I feel like those courses were really beneficial. I learned a lot of the technical side of things, and it helped me kind of find, as I'm still finding, like my way of making YouTube videos, but also like gave me the knowledge of how to structure a short film. Next question.
Lissy X Cam. Who or what inspires you daily? Honestly, I get a lot of encouragement and push from my wife, Tina. I always come to her with scripts and stuff like that because I'm not a writer. I'm trying to get better at it, especially because I write scripts now. And I feel like I have gotten a lot better than like a year ago. But when it comes to like genuine feedback, I can always count on her to be like, this is good, I would watch this. Or maybe you should reword this or move sections around. 90% of the time, 100% of the time, she's right. Dylan Hurd asked, what role has community played in your creative journey? I would say I would not be where I am, and I wouldn't have gotten to 15,000 subscribers if it wasn't for the people I've met along the way. That is the thing about being an artist, is that you really need to have people around you, or people that you can communicate with that you know that are also artists. It really takes a village to succeed. So don't be around people who step over people to grow. You don't want to be that person, and you don't want to be with that person. It's all about being compassionate and open and willing to connect and have a good environment around you. Favorite movie and why? Ooh, that is a hard question. I love Secret Life of Walter Mitty because it's such a simple movie. I love the pacing of it. I love the like character development of growth from like this shy, introverted person growing into like actually having adventures and being confident in himself and taking risks. I just love that film. Also, like creatively, it's so beautiful. The music scoring is so like rich. Where do you find inspiration in your art? I think I find a lot of inspiration through music. I'm always constantly listening to new music. And when I do that, I just naturally lean to like, if I really resonate with a song, I'll like, oh, how can I make a movie or like add it to a video? Like what kind of video where this would fit? Because it's just something about this song that really resonates. And I'm like, I wanna make something with that. I watch YouTube like all the time. The people I really love to watch and get inspired by is Ryan Ng, who's like really interesting when it comes to like these like journal entries. Him and Natalie and Wholesome Simon, they're like some of my favorites. And like this new wave of YouTube. I really love the YouTube show Bare Minimum. They are hilarious, and I'm really excited to see where the show goes, because their show recently got partnered with a company, which is freaking sick. Big congrats. On the other side of things, like the super quirky and cinematic kind of like videos. I like Life of Riza and Cult Kerwin. This interesting new wave of creators in different parts of the world. They have this new energy to YouTube that is just refreshing. Okay, now for the question that I know everyone has been asking. I literally have gotten asked this at least 20 times. Where are you actually from? Are you Indonesian? No. I'm from United States. I was born in Chicago, grew up in Indiana. I guess I can see why a lot of people would think I'm Indonesian. So what I actually am is I'm Filipino, I'm Chinese, and I'm black. My dad's from the Philippines, and my mom's from here. She is half Chinese, half black. I'm a weird mix of different things. That's why I can't really pinpoint sometimes. But yeah, I'm mostly Filipino. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this video. Really cool to get to interact with the audience. I still can't believe we're at 16,000 subscribers. That's crazy. Honestly, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. And I hope you stay. And I hope I see you guys in the next one. Next week. See ya.